Hello my dear students, so welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to discuss regarding the nomenclature of organic compounds. So this is one of the topic from class 11. So where you have the two organic chapters, that is the organic chemistry, some basic principle and techniques, followed by the hydrocarbons. So it will be like a basic even for the second PU. So in a second PU you will going to get around many organic chapters. In that the nomenclature will play a very important role. So not only for the second PU, if you choose the chemistry as your career option, then it's a basic thing to learn the nomenclature of organic compounds. So on that basis, today let us discuss how you can nomenclate the compounds, that is the organic compounds. See, we need to follow some rules for this one. And before that, where the nomenclature of alkanes I have written here. So what exactly nomenclature includes? It is nothing but giving name to a particular organic compound. So early days in the beginning, they never used to follow the rule, okay, that like how we are hearing nowadays as IUPAC nomenclature or IUPAC system. In early days, they used to give a name to the compound based on the history, like how or the source from where it is like producing or discovering. Based on that source, they used to give a name. That is what we're going to call it as a trivial system, or we can call it as a common name. Okay, so here some examples I have taken. First one, that is formic acid. HCOOH is one of the carboxylic acid which is commonly known as, whose trivial system name is formic acid. Form means, it is a Latin word, the formus, that means and, that is red ant. So that's why this compound been discovered by or produced by this red ants. That's why the name formic acid. Similarly, you might have heard of a vinegar. Okay, so vinegar in a Latin it is known as a acetum. Since it is produced from this vinegar or the acetum, it is named as acetic acid. CH3COOH, which is another carboxylic acid, is known as what? Acetic acid. So this is what, like this, the different trivial system been like a given, but in order to give a common name, okay, we need to follow one standard rule for the the nomenclature of an organic compound. For that reason, they made a group of a chemist which is known as IUPAC, that is International Union for or of Pure and Applied Chemistry, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemist or Chemistry. They made a group and they followed some rules to nomenclate the organic compounds. So that IUPAC nomenclature always includes the three basic things. Okay, this is very important. Before you will move to the nomenclature rules, the basic thing we should know. So the basic three things that you need to remember are root word, suffix and prefix. So root word is nothing but like a root of a, what we can say, the name. We could say the root of a name, which is quite very important in the main part of the nomenclature. So it's a basic unit as I told. So denotes the number of carbon atoms. So root word will tell the number of carbon atoms that are present. So if it's a 1 carbon atom, for that what we're going to call. If it is a 2 carbon atom, what we are supposed to call. These all things we can decide by the root word. So then comes suffix. Suffix means what? It follows the root word. After the root word, okay, we even you have heard this word in your English grammar as well, suffix and prefix. So if we have a root word, after the root word we will going to use a word called suffix which follows the root word. It indicates the functional group. Okay, it indicates the functional group, or some more we will discuss further. And then comes prefix. Pre means first. So prefix means which appears before root word. So which comes before root word is a prefix. So what are all this prefix? What are this suffix and the root word? This is simply an introduction part. Now root word means what? Suffix. What are the examples we can go through? That we will going to see here. You could see here, I have written the suffix, the root word, and yeah. So root words means, as I told, it will going to denote the number of carbon atoms present. So here you could see these all things are the basic. Students, I am again repeating, you need to learn all these things so that you can give a nomenclature in a correct manner. So 1 means if the number of carbon atom is 1, it is called meth. If the number of carbon atom is 2, eth. 3 means prop, 4 means but, 5 pent, 6 hex, 7 hept, 8 oct, 9 non, 10 dec, 20 icos, 30 tricon. See, at least up to 10 you should remember. So if you go on practicing, if you like repeat once or twice or thrice, it will come your in mind very easily. So these are the root word. So next, as we discussed about the suffix, so here again suffix are 2 types. One is primary suffix and one more is secondary suffix. What exactly this primary suffix will give? It gives the type of a linkage between the carbon atom. Means you could see here, type of a linkage between the carbon atom means we know that between the carbon and carbon single bond may be present, double bond may be present, or triple bond may be present. If it is a single bond, it is called alkane. So its suffix, okay, suffix means after the root word, that root word will end with a ane. Suffix, the saturated hydrocarbon, primary suffix, and that ends with a ane. If the carbon-carbon linkage is only one bond, then it ends with a ane. If it is alkene, then double bond should be present, and that should end with the root word should end with a ene. The suffix you need to add is ene, means after the root word you will going to add ene. If it is a carbon-carbon triple bond, then we know that it's an alkyne, so it should end with a yne. So these are the suffix which are the primary suffix that will going to denote the linkage between the carbon atom. Then what is the role of a secondary suffix? That gives the functional group. So we have a plenty of functional group. So the root word should end with a name, that is should get with a suffix that has got the particular functional group. So here these are called secondary suffix. And what are the functional group? What is its functional group? How will going to write it? Its formula, and how the suffix you should add to the root word. If alcohol is a functional group, then OH will be its formula, and it should end with a ol, OL. Similarly, aldehyde, CHO, al, AL. Don't get confused with the OL and the AL. AL means it's an aldehyde, OL means it's a alcohol. So these names you need to include when this functional group are acting as a suffix. Okay. Ketones means CO will be the functional group, and it should end with the on. Carboxylic acid, COOH, oic acid. Why I am writing the line here? Because in front of this there will be a root word. So root word should bond with this suffix. And cyanide means C triple bond N, and it should end with the nitriles. Isocyanides, N triple bond C, isocyano. Esters, COOR is the functional group, and the suffix should end with a oit or oet. Amines, NH2, and it should end with a amine. Amides, CONH2 is a functional group, and it should end with a amide. So these are the primary and the secondary suffix. Next comes prefix. Okay, so prefix you could see here. So as I already told, prefix is the word which appears before the root word, and it indicates the substituent present in a molecule. Okay, so root word, suffix, and before the root word and the suffix we need to include what? We need to put the respective prefixes. So these are some of the substituent groups that they have given, and the formula or the notation they have given, and what are all the word of a prefix you will going to use for each one they have given. So if the substituent group is an alkyl, so its notation is R, and the end or its prefix should be what? Alkyl, or it may be methyl or ethyl, propyl, like that. Whichever the substrate they have attached to the given organic compound, that name we will going to use. Similarly, propyl, this is a formula, and 1-propyl, that is the prefix should be 1-propyl. Then butyl, so CH2CH, but means 4 carbon, that we already learnt in the root word, so it's 1-butyl. If halides are present, that is the halogens are present, this will be the representation for the X will be the representation for the halogen, and it will be like a halo. Halo means it may be fluoro, it may be chloro, it may be bromo. So prefix should be that one. Nitro, that's the formula is NO2, and it should have a prefix, the word that should begin as a nitro. Nitroso, formula will be NO. Find the difference, dear students. NO2 means nitro, NO means nitro. So alkoxy, OR should be there, and it should be the prefix alkoxy, maybe methoxy, maybe ethoxy, depends on the number of carbon atoms. Allyl means, this is what we will going to call it as a allyl, and it is, that is double bond will be there. So hybridization of this carbon is sp3, and this carbon is bonded to the sp2 hybridized carbon atom. That's why it is called allyl. So prop 2 enyl. So this is how they have given prop 2. So how I wrote here prop 2 enyl, that we will going to learn in the rules of the nomenclature. So before going to the rules, you should know all these. So these are the basic for the nomenclature of organic compounds. Before going to the rules for the nomenclature, you should remember whatever I have told in the in this video. So this will be the part first of the nomenclature. In the second part, we will discuss about the rules by taking an example of each compound. So it is understood finally that root word will be there, and after the root word you will going to use the suffix, and before the root word you will going to put prefix. So this is you had to remember. This is a simple method that you had to remember. Root word will give the number of carbon atoms. Suffix will going to give the what functional group it may be, or it might be a single bond, double bond, or triple bond, and prefix will going to give which are all the substituent with their names. So this is a basic thing you should remember, and the rules we will going to follow in the next video, and the PDF file of this one I'll going to put in my Telegram channel, and I'll going to put a link in the description box. You can go through that one. So please wait for the next video to learn the nomenclature in an easy way. Thank you.